Hey guys, welcome back to the hangout from Circle of Cricket. I know we have been missing for quite a while now, but good to be back. It's never too late, and we have been joined by a couple of our regulars and a new member as well. So first, let's welcome Imam from Hyderabad.
Hey Keshav, hi everybody.
Hi Imam. So you're sitting right at the epicenter of the finals. So uh, I wish I was in Hyderabad and I would definitely have gone to watch the match. And now next we have Sunny, who used to
Hi,
join us, and I think vanished and I think took cricket a little too seriously. And one of our aspiring cricketers, a huge fan of Kevin Peterson.
hi Keshav, hi everyone.
Hi, Sunny. Welcome. And the last member is Ravi Pandey. So he's the newcomer. He's making his debut today. Just
Hi
like
everyone.
just like RPS is making a debut in finals.
I hope my debut goes as well as the RPS debut.
No, but I think you're cheering for Mumbai, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I'm cheering for Bombay for past 10 seasons.
Yeah. So now we have all you in the house. So let's start with the first reaction of all of you guys. So RPS versus Mumbai Indians at the start of the season. Did you guys expect these two teams to get to the finals? So Imam, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on the finals?
Sure. First of all, just to about your introduction, the way you said I'm sitting at the epicenter of the final. Thank goodness you didn't say epicenter of an earthquake. Because the word epicenter is generally associated. Okay, jokes apart, coming back to your question, Keshav, Mumbai I felt would be a very strong team right from the beginning because they have been one of the consistent teams throughout the 10 seasons of IPL. And since the time Rohit Sharma has been at the helm, they have been one of the top teams. They have been performing, and they had players who could rise up to the occasion and do well. So I think Mumbai was never a surprise for me. Yes, Pune was a big surprise because, especially after the kind of start they had with the tournament, it was pretty slow. They lost a lot of matches. Then there was a lot of controversy going on within the team owners and the way Dhoni was performing. So everything was negative. So I thought Pune was a matter of time before they are knocked out of the tournament. But boom, out of nowhere, this guy Ben came out of came out with a higher price tag. A lot of things were spoken about him, and he lived up to it. And I'm glad in the 10 seasons of IPL, a person who has been paid his worth. Every time you pay the highest amount of money to any cricketer, Yuvraj Singh, Carlos Bradford, name it, they disappointed. But this has been one of the cricketers who has really lived up to the expectation. And I'm very happy for Team Pune because this will be the last season. And I hope that they do well in this tournament and go about winning.
Well, that's really good to hear from Imam. It's always a pleasure to hear about the teams you love, people who actually support the other teams. So let's go to Ravi here. Ravi, like I'm sure that you must have thought that Mumbai will reach the finals because you are such an average supporter of Mumbai. But did Pune surprise you? Did you think that Pune were actually punching above their weight?
सर पुणे के बारे में मैं बहुत ज़्यादा श्योर नहीं था कि वो फाइनल तक पहुंचेंगे, बट आई वाज वेरी मच कॉन्फिडेंट कि दे वुड बी इन द टॉप 4. But I was very much hoping for the Hyderabad to be competing in the finals with Mumbai. पुणे के साथ ये था कि उनका जो लास्ट दो गेम्स रहे, मेरे हिसाब से वो बहुत सही खेले उन्होंने, स्पेशली विदाउट बेन स्टोक्स, क्योंकि वो उनका अभी तक ट्रम्प कार्ड था. और जो लास्ट मैच, स्पेशली जो लास्ट मैच में वॉशिंगटन सुंदर ने जो परफॉर्मेंस दी है, I guess he might be the trump card in the finals as well, along with Smith and Dhoni.
I think another factor was that they were without Imran Tahir as well. I mean, he had taken 18 wickets.
Yeah.
Left for England tour.
Yeah, but जो सुंदर ने बॉलिंग करी, उसने उनकी जो लैग था उसका उन्होंने उसको महसूस नहीं होने दिया. तो I guess that was a plus point with them.
Exactly. And now coming to you, Sunny, like Ravi ने बोला कि वॉशिंगटन सुंदर ने इमरान ताहिर की कमी महसूस की उनकी, और रविचंद्रन अश्विन की कमी उन्होंने नहीं महसूस होने दी. तो same way when Ben Stokes was not in the last match. So you think कि कहीं ना कहीं धोनी की वो जो innings थी, did धोनी make sure that Stokes की कमी feel ना हो वहाँ पे?
Yeah, I think it was a nice move to, I think, taste some new players also. Like Ravi mentioned that Washington Sundar did really well in the in the qualifier against Mumbai, and I feel Dhoni has filled the space which was left by Ben Stokes because he has to go for the national duty, and the way he scored runs against Mumbai in the qualifier shows that he has been consistent throughout the 10 seasons of IPL, and he's been doing this. So let's hope he continue the form in the final. And but what I feel that Mumbai would be the topmost priority to win the IPL this year because they have done really well throughout the tournament. They've been consistent, although there have been some ups and downs in few matches, but they have been the team to watch out for. And I think it's going to be Mumbai this year also.
But you are forgetting that Pune has already beaten them thrice.
Yeah, I know, but Keshav, if you look at the records, Mumbai have lost qualifier in 2013 to CSK, and they defeated CSK in the final. And in 2015 also they did the same. So this is 2017. So I hope they'll do the same.
Okay, I'm actually quite intrigued with your background here. Can you explain that little whiteboard? What's written on that? Okay, I just asked about his background and he's lost.
Keshav?
Yeah. Sunny, so can you explain what's written on there? IPL winners, champions of winners, what's that?
Yeah, that's my goal.
That's your goal, but it's already
Yes.
2017.
Yeah, I know. It's already 2017. I've not been the part of the camp this year because of
but
votes.
Keshav, look for 2020.
Yeah, probably. So I think the first two columns you should probably now erase them because the Champions Trophy is just coming in a couple of weeks and Indian team has been already announced.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the match point, so I'll go back to Imam here and Imam. So like at the start of the tournament, if you remember, everybody on our group also predicted the top four, and I think I was the only one a little too much optimistic to put RPS in that team. But do you think that the way RPS has actually come up, through the ladder, the first four games they had lost three and just won a single game. So after that, the team, the think tank, and Stephen Fleming and everybody, combined together and made some changes. So you think somewhere it's because of their foreign players, Ben Stokes, Imran Tahir, Steve Smith, or the Indian contingent like Rahul Tripathi coming onto the board, Manoj Tiwari performing exceedingly well, and even the bowlers Jaydev Unadkat, Shardul Thakur, no one expected them to do the way they performed. So you think it's the foreign players who are responsible for this, or the Indian players?
Well, I think Keshav. First of all, with regards to the complete IPL, just to talk about all the teams, I think I'm glad that the IPL, what it stands for, has been something which we could see in this tournament. It's about Indian players. IPL, the reason for which IPL came abroad was so that the Indian players can get the exposure, they can rub shoulders with the greats of the game, and they can, come up the ladder quicker than what they have been in the past 10 years. So this IPL has been very good for all the Indian players. I think what the 10th year has done is has told the Indian players that what, we have 7 players playing in the team rather than the 4 foreigners. So I think the responsibility has been more in terms of these youngsters taking it up. Second thing about the bowling attack which you mentioned is quite interesting. Pune in the first 4 games, where as you mentioned they lost 3 of them. Somewhere I think the slowness of the pitches, as and when the pitches got slower, Shardul Thakurs, your Unatkars, who will get smashed around the park on a very good batting track, have been very potent. So I think somewhere Pune would also give credit to the pitches. The pitches have been slower. There's so much of cricket being played this year. test matches, domestic cricket, Hazare tournament, and then so much of heat. So I think the pitches helped Pune, and credit to Pune that they were able to make use of those pitches. So I think Unatkar and Thakur take a lot of credit. And there is something called as blessing in disguise. I always heard about that in cricket, but I think for Pune, I can say that this is proved. Ashwin took a break. He said he took a break, and in comes Tahir, and they signed up Tahir. And there was some other player who I can't remember the name who was injured. I think it was Mitchell Marsh. Then came Washington Sundar into the team. Washington Sundar was not a part of their first 11, first 15 or 20. So I think the blessing it is guys played in Pune's way, and I'm glad that they took up the opportunity. But in all this comes a guy called MS Dhoni. I think one person who I feel so happy to see to play this brand of cricket. I think the fact that Steve Smith has taken over is not pinching him. I think Dhoni is not an individual who will feel bad about it, but I think he now wants to prove himself that he belongs here. So I'm so happy. It's not the same Dhoni who comes, takes 7, 8 balls to get set. No, first ball, boom, goes for a 6 or a 4. If he gets out, so be it. So I think that freedom for him is fantastic, and that's where I feel even today, Mumbai, beware of Dhoni, because this guy single-handedly can take the team through, and Steve Smith is due. He has not got a big innings for a last 5 matches. So Mumbai, if they don't get Steve Smith early and MS Dhoni coming down the order, I think it'll be difficult for Mumbai to stop Pune today. And just to give you a bit of a background about the weather, Hyderabad, my ground is very close to my place. It's bright and sunny right now. Last night, a couple of nights ago, it rained. So what the groundsman has done, he's not watered the pitch. So don't be surprised if it's again a 150 track. And if it's a 150 track, then I'll go for Pune 80-20.
Well, that's some great piece of info from Imam, and also I'm really happy that he brought up the point of Smith and Dhoni being the key players today, and that's also one of the reasons why Smith is the captain and Dhoni is the vice captain in my fantasy team tonight. And I'll go to Ravi here. Ravi, so as Imam said that the fact that Dhoni handled all this captaincy being taken away from him so well. So you think somewhere the relationship between Smith and Dhoni is also an important factor behind RPS success?
नहीं नहीं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। और जो इमाम भाई ने बोला उसमें मैं एक बात और ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, और ये मैंने अभी किसी फेसबुक पेज पे ही पढ़ा था कि धोनी के लिए अभी बहुत ट्रॉफीज हो गई हैं एज अ कैप्टन, नाउ दिस वन एज अ नॉन कैप्टन। सो जो इमाम भाई ने बोला बहुत सही बोला कि दोनों की जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, ठीक है, और काफ़ी स्पोर्टिंग वे में लिया धोनी ने भी उसको, जो उसे उन्हें कैप्टन से स्टेप डाउन कराया गया, और वो बहुत अच्छा गया पुणे के लिए थ्रू आउट द सीजन। और ये बात टीममेट्स भी बोल रहे हैं, अपने पुणे के सारे टीममेट्स भी बोल रहे हैं कि ये एक बहुत अच्छा कॉम्बिनेशन है। और कल एक पोस्ट भी आया था अपने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे भी, तुमने भी देखा होगा, तो वो भी काफी रेलेवेंट था।
और रवि, हमने कहीं ना कहीं शायद ये किसी ने भी शायद नहीं सोचा होगा, क्योंकि जब आईपीएल से जस्ट पहले जब इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीरीज खत्म हुई थी तो स्टीव स्मिथ एकदम विलन जैसा उसका इमेज था हम सब इंडियन के दिमाग में, और जब उससे धोनी को कैप्टन हटा के उसको कैप्टन बनाया तो लाइक नोबडी वुड हैव थॉट कि इस टाइप की बॉन्डिंग और ट्यूनिंग इन दोनों के बीच दिखेगी।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। ये तो खैर हर टीम में ही है। ऑस्ट्रेलियंस टेस्ट सीरीज में दे वर लाइक कि बिल्कुल कोई उन्हें पसंद नहीं कर रहा था। एसआरएच में देख लो, डेविड वार्नर कैप्टन है, उसके साथ जो इंडियन प्लेयर्स हैं उनकी बॉन्डिंग अच्छी है। और हर टीम में जो जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन प्लेयर्स गए हैं, और स्पेशली स्टीव स्मिथ के साथ जो ब्रेन फेड हुआ और जो भी सारे इंसिडेंट हुए, उसके बाद नो वन वाज लुकिंग कि हाँ मतलब इनको इतना चांस देना चाहिए। लेकिन 4 महीने स्मिथ ने भी काफ़ी अच्छी क्रिकेट खेली इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में भी, और वो स्मिथ भी चाहेगा कि ठीक है अब ये जो इसका अपना 4 महीने का जो इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में टूर रहा उसको हाई पे ख़त्म करें। बट आई होप मुंबई इंडियंस ऐसा होने ना दे। हाँ इमाम भाई,
मैं एक ही बात बोला यहाँ पे स्टीव स्मिथ की बात यार, आप उसको पसंद करो, आप उसको नापसंद करो, या उसकी टेक्निक देखो जो अजीब फिजिटी गाई है, द फैक्ट इज द ग्रेटेस्ट बैट्समैन हु हैज कम हियर इन इंडिया। और रन्स तो ऐसे बनाता है जैसे उसको यार वो पैदाइशी उसकी इधर ही की हो. So difficult. Indian players found it so difficult to play the Pune pitch. उस पे उसने 100 बनाए एंड वो कभी भी. और उसकी और एक बात मुझे अच्छी ये लगती है कि भाई जो है वो है. वो he doesn't treat himself as if कि मैं बहुत अच्छा हूँ. If he says कि वो बुरा है तो बुरा है, but the fact is he wants to play and he wants to win. Same goes for David Warner. You like them, you hate them, they come here to win. And IPL में एक इतनी खुशी होती है क्योंकि the people you hate the most when they play against India and you cheer for them. I cheer for Warner. You in this case you cheer for Steve Smith. It's
And
so
I
so beautiful.
and I and tonight I hopefully I would cheer for Johnson.
See, there you go.
Yeah, so Ravi, did you want to add something to that?
हाँ मतलब वन थिंग कॉमन जो अभी बात हो रही थी धोनी और स्मिथ की, दोनों अनऑर्थोडॉक्स प्लेयर हैं. मतलब देयर वे ऑफ प्लेइंग इज क्वाइट अनऑर्थोडॉक्स, बट स्टिल दोनों सक्सेसफुल हैं क्वाइट एज बोथ एज अ कैप्टन एज वेल एज अ प्लेयर. सो दैट गोज वेल विद पुणे. They have, I guess, the two best captains in their side.
That's true, and I think you're forgetting Faf du Plessis as well. His mind was also there, although he didn't have a huge role to play. But
Yes, yes.
behind the scenes, I think he would have also given his inputs. So they have Dhoni, they have Steve Smith, they have Faf du Plessis, they have Stephen Fleming, also former New Zealand captain and now the coach, a very successful coach. So Sunny, you yourself are an aspiring batsman. So you have seen Steve Smith, obviously, and his counterpart tonight is Rohit Sharma. Both really good captains this season, and both really good batsmen as well. But both are due some runs, this IPL season. So, who do you think will actually trump tonight?
I think it's going to be Rohit Sharma, and what I feel that he should open the innings because he has done really well opening the innings, not for only Mumbai Indians, but also we have seen that for India also. That 264 not out, it was out 264 against Sri Lanka. It was when he opened the innings, and Steve Smith. I think rare failures comes in his life, and but what I feel, Steve Smith is a good test player, a good one-day player, but I don't think he is a good T20 player. Although some people will say that he's a test player, he can play well in the T20s also, but he hasn't done so well in the T20s. His T20 records are not so good as compared to Rohit Sharma. So Rohit Sharma would be my trump card for tonight's game, and I'll be hoping to see some fireworks from MS Dhoni also.
That's a very surprising thing to say actually, and Imam is nodding his head as well. Imam, do you agree with him that Steve Smith is not as good as a T20 player as Test or ODIs?
With all due respect to him, I definitely disagree completely because Steve Smith is a kind of a batsman, as Ravi was saying. I completely agree with him. He's very unorthodox. You feel that he is a LBW candidate. You just need to ball the ball straight and he'll miss it. But he will never miss it. That's the thing. And in T20 cricket, unorthodox players really do well. Rohit Sharma, one interesting fact about him, I was just going through some facts and figures. And knockout matches which have been played in the IPL, his average has been 21. So I think none of the qualifiers or none of the finals I remember, or as per the stats, where Rohit Sharma put his hand up and scored. Yes, Mumbai won two IPLs under him, but there were major contributions from Lasith Malinga, Kyron Pollard, and Ambati Rayudu. I have not seen any contribution from Rohit Sharma so far, but again, that might change tonight. But the simple fact is that Steve Smith is due for a big knock, and we all know that once if he goes past the 20 runs, and knowing the Hyderabadi track, even if it and I'll not be surprised with the team which wins the toss tonight opts to bat first because there's no dew here. There is nothing in terms of worrying about the weather for tonight. So I think the team which bats first puts up 150, 160 on the board. And if that happens to be Pune, then I see Steve Smith scoring big runs in that. And completely sunny that you need to be very precise. He has not played a lot of T20 cricket, Steve Smith. if you're comparing Steve Smith to Rohit Sharma has been playing 10 years of IPL throughout. And if you go back to Australia, Australian players hardly play BBL when they have a tour in progress when the BBL happens, and they play only IPL. And Steve
Yeah.
Smith, if I remember correctly, have played for Pune earlier also when there
Pune
was an
Warriors.
earlier Pune team. Yeah,
And
and Pune Warriors.
I also remember that he scored a century also for Pune.
Correct. So I think you're contradicting here. So he is one of the best players we have, and I think he will be a crucial factors. If I hope that this hangout is being seen by everybody, because me, Ravi, Keshav, everybody is saying that he will be the key. So after today's game, we will be designated experts. If
No,
Steve
actually,
Smith happens,
I have a question here to Ravi because I think he might agree with Sunny here because I think a few months back I was having a chat with Ravi on our WhatsApp group and he said Steve Smith कोई player है क्या? उमेश यादव ने उसको player बनाया तो अभी भी you think the same or
I guess I remember that chat. वो हमारी इंडिया सीरीज से पहले की chat थी, I guess. But the way स्मिथ ने इंडिया सीरीज में खेला है, he has proved me wrong. And उसने काफी अच्छी क्रिकेट खेली और थ्रू आउट 4 महीने काफी अच्छी क्रिकेट खेली. So 4 सेंचुरी 3 सेंचुरी I guess इंडियन सीरीज में.
and he averages 60
And
test cricket.
yeah, 60. So I admit कि I was wrong at that time. And especially Indian conditions में Indian spinners को run करना काफी मुश्किल है. और he was the only player in the Australian Bratton lineup जो मतलब confident लगा. So in a way he was. And आज के मैच में तो I agree कि पुणे के साथ जो एक प्लस पॉइंट है वो ये है कि they have 2 big match players in the form of Smith and Dhoni. I mean, who can forget the Smith inning in the semi-final versus India, and
Yeah,
Dhoni's inning against Sri Lanka in World Cup final. I mean, दोनों big match player हैं और वो काफी बड़ा factor है पुणे के साथ.
And I'm somewhere actually, happy also कि Stokes नहीं है because last time we played a T20 final.
19 runs.
4 sixes to Carlos Brathwaite. So, speaking of,
and also Keshav,
yeah,
I somehow feel that Mumbai tonight will miss Josh Butler a lot. I think Butler has been one of the best players in the IPL in the shortest form of the game, but more so because Rendell Simmons seems to be clueless against spin bowling. I think I have watched a lot of Rendell Simmons in the earlier years, but this year he's been caught by those graphics and all those computer guys because Rendell Simmons is a fantastic player when it comes to fast bowling, but the moment you give him spin, he's clueless. It's off spin, leg spin. It's very difficult for him to play. So I think Josh Butler will be missed sorely tonight more than what Stokes would be missed for Pune. Because Mumbai, now if you suddenly nip out Parthiv Patel early, along with let's say Rohit Sharma, there's nothing there. Because Kyron Pollard ऐसा है, चला तो चला नहीं तो नहीं चला. So
I think Karen Pollard is also not a big match player. I mean, I just like you don't remember Rohit Sharma playing a huge knock in knockouts. I don't remember Karen Pollard as well.
no, he did. I'll tell you, the final which happened in Chennai, all the fixing fiasco happened that year. You remember, right? That year, Pollard played a crucial 60 or 65 knock in the final, and that helped Mumbai to post a total of 150 on the board, and Chennai lost by 20 runs. I am sure you will not remember it because it was against Chennai. What say, Ravi?
Bang
Yeah,
on.
well, I sometimes, people like to forget the things that happened against them. Okay, coming back to Sunny here. Sunny, now you have heard both Ravi and Imam about these two teams. And, I mean, so as they said that, if it's a 150-160 score, then Pune will be having the the advantage. But I feel if the pitch is good and if it's 190 pitch, then I think Bombay will have a much better chance. Do you agree with me here?
Keshav, that teams should be considering the conditions also, because sometimes they think that it's a 180 190 pitch and they collapse under 150, and from there they went on to lose the match also. So they should have a good look at the conditions, and if Mumbai scores 160, 170 plus rather, then they'll have a good chance against Pune. Otherwise, it'll be Pune's game. But I'm looking forward to how Washington Sundar play in this final game, because it'll be his first final, and apart from Mumbai, I'll be looking for Lasith Malinga, because he hasn't done really well this year, and
But
Bumrah would
that's
be a good.
that's that's because he's past his prime.
Yeah, I know that, but for Mumbai, Parthiv Patel, Rohit Sharma, and Jasprit Bumrah would be the key players to watch out for in the final, because Bumrah bowled really well with the new ball in the last match against KKR. So it will be good to see him again bowling with the new ball.
Yeah, Ravi, you have to add something.
हाँ, जो बॉम्बे के लिए आई गेस जो क्रूशियल रहेगा वो उनका टीम सिलेक्शन रहेगा, स्पेशली दो स्लॉट्स पे. फर्स्ट इज वेदर दे वुड प्ले नीतीश राणा और अंबाती रायडू. फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकंड थिंग, which two bowlers they choose among these three, McLaren, Johnson and Malinga. So I guess that would be the key point for Bombay in today's match.
Imam, if we talk about these changes, do you think that Mumbai should prefer Ambati Raidu, who has the experience of playing the big finals, the knockouts, and he's more experienced, or they'll go back to Nitish Rana, who has done well, and he also is a left-handed batsman, and they don't really have too many left-handed batsmen?
Yeah, I think, before I answer that, I think Ravi has made a debut today, as you said earlier. But I think he's hitting sixes right from the word go. All the points beautifully, and I can't agree more on those on the last point which he said. I think team selection will go a long way in deciding the fate for Mumbai. And to answer to your question, Keshav, I think Raidu, yes, I've been experienced, has been doing well. But as I told you, this year has been about youngsters. India, I think this year has been about that attitude of Indian youngsters where they are going out and they are playing their game, no matter if they fail or they do well. So I think if you think of that, then I will take Nitish Rana. Simple fact, because I somehow feel that he plays spin better than Raidu. Sometimes Raidu, if you see Raidu's last match where he got bowled to Piyush Chawla, he played inside the line to a straight delivery. So I think somewhere, and Raidu, I must say this, he's a bit overconfident when he speaks. I remember him winning against Kolkata and he was man of the match, I guess. And he had some fight or argument with Saurabh Tiwari about a run out, and then something happened in the field. And he said, "Yeah, it is easy. He will learn." So the kind of talk which he was, getting engaged in, I'm not happy with that. You should never talk about your team members that way. Yes, you are a senior. Yes, you have been somebody who has done well in your career, but that is the kind of attitude which has, made him fall very badly in his international cricket. He's from Hyderabad. Just to let you guys know, he had an argument with the secretary's son. He got into a fight with him, and 3-4 years of his life just went off like that. So he went to Mumbai, started off a new career. So what I'm trying to say is, people, youngsters also who are watching this, never let your success get you ahead. You might be a very good at your art. Look at Sachin Tendulkar, buddy. He's played international cricket for 25 years, and he never said, "I am the best batsman." That is what and that is what made him Tendulkar. So I think, this is what Raidu has to learn. And tonight, if they go for McLaren, Pune will be happy. This is what I think. Because McLaren has been the Dinda for Mumbai. He's been taking a lot of runs, and Dhoni would not mind facing McLaren. Johnson, on the other hand, has been good. Yeah, Ravi, go ahead.
And I think one of the biggest talking points of the last few weeks has been the preference of Karan Sharma over Harbhajan Singh. I mean, Harbhajan is such a seasoned campaigner for Mumbai, has played for them all 10 seasons, has been a key player, and his economy has been the best. It's less than 6, to be honest. So Ravi, Karan Sharma को आगे रख रहे हैं. Obviously he's performing, but do you think कि आज जो final की big stage है और कहीं ना कहीं वो जो प्रेशर सिचुएशन रहेगा, और कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि हरभजन को वापस लाना चाहिए टीम
नहीं
में?
नहीं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं पर्सनली ये फील करता हूँ कि हरभजन को खिलाना चाहिए आज के मैच में। रीजन बीइंग कि ही हैज डन quite well for Bombay for the past, I guess, 8 years. For the past 8 years, he's been with Mumbai, or
Last 10 years, all the seasons.
all the seasons, all the seasons.
He just missed the first season because he slapped Srishant apparently.
right, right. हाँ, तो कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट कि उसका इकोनॉमी भी अच्छा है, ठीक है। ही माइट नॉट गो फॉर द विकेट्स, बट वो ठीक है, कंटेंट करके रखता है, सो दैट द अदर बॉलर्स कैन कैश ऑन द प्रेशर मेड बाय हिम। सो आई गेस
कहीं ना कहीं हरभजन को थोड़ा सा मतलब एक ये नेगेटिव पॉइंट ये है कि क्योंकि कृणाल पांड्या इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑलराउंडर इन दैट टीम, सो ही आल्सो प्रोवाइड्स दिस ऑप्शन। करण शर्मा इज अ लेग स्पिनर, सो कहीं ना कहीं वो 3 स्पिनर खिलाने से परहेज कर रहे हैं।
आई गेस दैट्स द रीजन कि वो करण शर्मा को खिला रहे हैं। बट इन अ बिग मैच यू नीड अ बिग प्लेयर हु हैज प्रूव्ड हिज मेंटल। So I guess मुंबई को पुनः हरभजन सिंह के साथ जाना चाहिए। For me, the bowlers would be for Bombay should be Johnson, Malinga, Bumrah, and Harbhajan.
But Imam, do you think हैदराबाद की पिच ऐसी है कि वहाँ 3 स्पिनर खिलाने चाहिए?
खिलाने चाहिए, वही मैं बोल रहा था कि करण शर्मा को तो मैं ड्रॉप नहीं करूंगा। इट विल बी डैम अनफेयर ऑन द गाय हु ended up in the man of the match in the qualifier and they drop him. But I feel that Karan Sharma, Harbhajan, Krunal Pandya, can 3 of them play, because the final track will not be a lot different than what Mumbai played against Hyderabad. If you remember, Mumbai lost that game. They batted first as an experiment. They scored 139 and they ended up losing the game. So I think, and the boundaries are big in Hyderabad. So if you play spinners, the more of a chance of them getting more wickets, because people, when they try to hit the ball, those 5-10 extra yards help the fielders.
Okay, so if Harbhajan Singh comes in, that who goes out for you?
Malinga goes out for me because he's been very lucky to be in the team right now. He can't field. His bowling is, yes, he bowls well sometimes, but for me, I will go for Johnson. I will go for Bumrah, Harbhajan, Sharma, and Krunal Pandya will be my attack. Not necessary to play the 4 foreigners all the time. है, इसका मतलब खिलाने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can just have 3 of them international players, and then go for Pune. Mind you, Dhoni and all struggle against spin. Fast bowling easy खेलता है Dhoni. So I think a lot of things which point Mumbai to play that extra spin.
Okay, Sunny, do you agree with that कि मलिंगा को ड्रॉप करें, या अगर आपको हरभजन को खिलाना है तो who would you drop otherwise?
Yeah, I would also drop Lasith Malinga if I would have to play Harbhajan Singh. And what I feel that Mumbai should play 3 spinners, and they should bring Krunal Pandya when MS Dhoni is batting, because we have seen MS Dhoni struggling a little bit against a left-arm spinner, so he'll be the key against MS Dhoni. And as far as Harbhajan Singh is concerned, he has the experience of playing in the finals. He has done well for Mumbai Indians, and in for India also he has done well in the knockout matches. So I think it would not be a big surprise to see Lasith Malinga sitting out and Harbhajan Singh in place of him.
But Ravi, Lasith Malinga, he has not done that bad. I mean, he has done his job. The only difference this season, I think, is Rohit Sharma is not using him at the death. I think he's having more confidence now in Jasprit Bumrah, and that's understandably so, because Jasprit is a newcomer. He's been on the international radar as well for 1 year and he's done exceedingly well. So, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं you think कि मलिंगा को ड्रॉप करना एक वाइज चॉइस होगी इस टाइम पे एट द फाइनल?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली अगर विकेट स्पिनर्स को असिस्ट कर रहा है और ऑन द स्लोअर साइड है, तो जैसा इमाम भाई ने बोला कि 3 स्पिनर खिलाना वुड बी अ वाइज डिसीजन।
3 स्पिनर अगर खिलाना है तो कांट यू ड्रॉप अंबाती रायडू एंड ब्रिंग हरभजन इन फॉर हिम?
No, I guess Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah and Johnson would be enough. जो 3 पेसर उनको खिलाने हैं, और जो बाकी के हैं वो काम स्पिनर्स कर सकते हैं। कृणाल पांड्या, करण शर्मा एंड हरभजन सिंह, आई गेस दैट वुड बी अ वेरी गुड बॉलिंग कॉम्बिनेशन if wicket is on the slower side.
Okay, and now talking about RPS selection, I don't think there are too many headaches over there, and I think as Stephen Fleming and even Dhoni has done for the past 10 seasons for CSK as well, they like to stick with the winning 11 which has been there for a while. So Imam, do you see any changes in RPS tonight unless there is an injury?
No. I think they should go with the same side, Keshav, and I'm happy that the guy Ferguson has come back. Watch out for this guy in the future. I think he's genuinely quick bowler, very good, hits the right areas. So I think again the blessing in disguise factor will. I hope that he comes to Pune's rescue again because the only reason Ferguson will play tonight is because Stokes is not in the team. So I think watch out for Ferguson. He might be the guy who can give you those wickets. And regards to the other members of the batting lineup, I think nothing to change. Tripathi is again somebody who has not scored for the last 3 games. Uh, Watch out for him also.
Imam, I think there is a little bit problem with your sound. It's the levels are very low. You just try to fix that. I'll go to Ravi here. Ravi, like Imam has said, Ferguson will be, and the reason he's playing is because Stokes is not there. But I think no one has really talked about Dan Christian, and he has quietly done his job. वो आके अपने 2-3-4 ओवर करा रहा है और ज्यादा इकोनॉमी भी नहीं उसकी है और जब धोनी या लोअर ऑर्डर बैट्समैन नहीं चले उसने आके 15-20 तेज रन भी बनाया नीचे आके तो आई थिंक ही इज रियली वाइटल कॉग इन दैट 11
नहीं मेरे हिसाब से क्रिश्चियन को खेलना चाहिए क्योंकि वो काफी अंडर
खेलना तो है ही उसने उसकी इस जगह पे कोई सवाल नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि इवन एट द टाइम ऑफ ऑक्शन आई थिंक आरपीएस के अलावा किसी ने बिड भी नहीं किया था उसके लिए
किसी ने बिड नहीं किया था उसके लिए
आई थिंक ही हैज क्वाइटली डन हिज जॉब एंड मे बी इंक्रीज दिस प्राइस फॉर द नेक्स्ट ऑक्शन नेक्स्ट ईयर
हाँ नेक्स्ट ऑक्शन के लिए तो खैर एवरीवन इज अवेलेबल सो ही माइट बी अ गुड चॉइस फॉर ऑल द फ्रेंचाइजीज रीजन बीइंग कि जो तुमने अभी बोला कि अपने पता भी नहीं चलता 3-4 ओवर निकालता विद अ गुड इकोनॉमी एंड पिक्स अ विकेट हियर एंड देयर एंड देन स्कोर्स 20-25 रन्स क्विक so he is a good pick, definitely a good pick. And one thing I want to add ki we are not today talking about Rahul Tripathi. I mean can he be the Manvinder Bisla?
To come on to him.
Okay. Can he be the Manvinder Bisla for RPS in this season's final?
No, I hope he doesn't become Manvinder Bisla because that guy. I don't know if he's in any of the squads as well. So let's just hope he becomes the Manish Pandey as
that will do.
I think Manish Pandey also scored a century for Bangalore in 2009 final, but Bangalore ended up on the losing side.
That was a quali league game.
Sorry.
League game. That was a league game.
Against Hyderabad, unfortunately.
Okay.
That was a league game.
Did he score that 100 in the final in 2000?
It was Riddhiman Saha who scored 100 and ended up on the losing side.
Yeah, that's there.
100 in the final.
Okay.
And also, Keshav, to just a quick point with the Christian, I somehow feel he can be used better in batting. Bowling, he's been doing his job as you rightly said with a less economy rate, very good fielder. But I think he can be a very surprise factor. Imagine, Pune lose a wicket in the first over tonight, and either Rahane or Tripathi get out. More if Tripathi gets out, if I were in the think tank of Pune Super Giant, I will be tempted to put Christian at 3 and ask him to go hell for leather. First 6 overs, he has got immense power. He can clear any boundary. I remember him hitting a 6 on a Brisbane ground, hitting the ball out of the side boundary, which is the biggest boundary in Australia.
Yeah, that was actually 127 meter 6.
Correct, in the BPL. So I think he is one guy who can use the 6 overs very well. So if one critical point, if I have to criticize today, which is not using in batting, I would say because any which ways they have an MS Dhoni in the end, he can finish up the innings very well. And they have a Manoj Tiwari who has been hitting the ball beautifully.
No, that's actually quite an interesting point, Ravi. If I ask you the same thing, so as Imam said, कि number 3 पे Dan Christian को लेके आ जाओ अगर power play में wicket गिरता है जल्दी. But do you agree with this because Steve Smith is their number 3? He's arguably the best batsman in the world right now. He's not ठीक रहेगा.
मैं ऐसा नहीं करूंगा अगर मैं कैप्टन होता हूँ. रीजन बीइंग कि इट्स अ बिग फाइनल एंड यू कांट एक्सपेरिमेंट सच थिंग्स इन अ फाइनल गेम राइट. जैसे केकेआर ने नारायण को लाके एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, दे हैड द क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, वो उस टाइम अफोर्ड कर सकते थे. But in a big final, when you have Steve Smith at number 3, then you can't risk कि ऐसा कुछ करना चाहिए.
Yeah, I agree to you as well here because I also don't want कि एक जो already जो एक बैटिंग
Right.
बना हुआ है उसको disrupt ना ही करे और अपना जो उनकी एक जो momentum चली आ रही है उसी के हिसाब से खेलना चाहिए.
My point ये है, I completely agree with both of you. For a big game, they should not be changed. ये बोल रहा हूँ कि आजकल जितना analysis होता है ना क्रिकेट गेम में, more of a technology game rather than playing it on the field. If not as much as it was. तो मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ.
Imam, actually, your voice is really less audible. I mean, we can
अभी
hardly
ठीक है. अभी
it's
ठीक है.
वो बीच में बहुत कम हो जा रही है बार-बार.
चल अभी नहीं होगी. तो what I'm trying to say is everybody in the Mumbai team will plan for Smith at 3, and they will make their plans as per that. What I'm saying is just throwing those plans off completely. Suddenly a Christian walks in and you do not have the answers and he smashes 25 in say 10 balls, gives them the momentum, his job is done. So I'm just coming from that point of view.
Yeah, I think that's also an interesting point of view if you see like that. Sunny, if we talk about the other team, Mumbai, so Rohit Sharma has batted at 4 most of the tournament, but last couple of games I think he has come up to 3 since Bhati Raidu came in. But a lot of people have been saying that he is the best batsman in that lineup, so he should be opening like he does for India. So do you think कि आज final है और he's the best player they have, so he should open rather than Lendl Simmons because Lendl Simmons has actually struggled against opening bowlers.
Keshav, what I feel, he should open in today's game along with Parthiv Patel, and Lendl Simmons should bat at number 3. If someone like Roma, who can do so well at by opening the innings, how could he do that injustice to himself? Not to himself only, but for the team's benefit, he has to see. He should open for them, and it's actually it's gonna be a good game if he's gonna open the innings for Mumbai Indians. And for experiment, I don't think any team should do experiment in the big game as IPL final, because it's a huge game. You don't want to lose it. You want to do everything right to win that trophy which you have been waiting since 40 days, and you do a stupid experiment that fails. And see what Rohit Sharma mentioned during the post-match presentation, that if we take a decision and that works, then people will say that it's a good decision. If that doesn't work, people will say that it's not a good decision, what a stupid decision they have made. So it's all about the time and how the player feels at that particular time. That is he the player who's feeling that he can execute well, he can perform well at that particular time.
Okay, Ravi, if we compare both the teams, I mean, दोनों टीमों को head to head अगर देखो player by player, तो I think Mumbai somewhere actually is a better team on paper. लेकिन जैसे RPS ने throughout the season खेला और तीनों बार मुंबई को हराया है, so do you think कि कहीं ना कहीं आज प्रेशर एक्चुअली आरपीएस पे ज्यादा रहेगा क्योंकि वो अभी तक कोई फाइनल नहीं खेले हैं, वो ऐसी सिचुएशन में नहीं आए हैं, उनके कई प्लेयर्स ऐसे हैं कि राहुल त्रिपाठी नया है और वॉशिंगटन सुंदर नया है, सो डू यू थिंक कि ऐसे फाइनल के प्रेशर में दीज यंगस्टर्स कैन एक्चुअली गो फ्रीली एंड एक्सप्रेस देमसेल्व्स या फिर वो प्रेशर में एक्चुअली परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाएंगे?
नहीं, मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा नहीं होगा. आरपीएस वुड फाइंड देमसेल्फ वेरी कंफर्टेबल प्लेइंग द बिग फाइनल, रीजन बीइंग there are two players we are regularly talking about. One Steve Smith and other is Dhoni. धोनी ने अपने थ्रू आउट द कैरियर बहुत फाइनल्स खेले हैं, बहुत फाइनल जिताए भी हैं, एंड सेम गोज विद स्टीव स्मिथ. उसने अपने छोटे करियर में भी अपना वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल भी खेला उसने. तो आई गेस दैट वोंट बी द केस कि जो फाइनल के प्रेशर की हम बात कर रहे हैं. आई गेस दोनों टीमें उस क्राइटेरिया पे इवन है. मुंबई ने काफ़ी फाइनल्स खेले हैं और उन आरपीएस के पास तो ऐसे प्लेयर हैं जो काफ़ी फाइनल्स खेल चुके हैं और जिता भी चुके हैं, तो वो अपना एक्सपीरियंस जरूर शेयर करेंगे अपने बाकी टीममेट्स के साथ. जो बाकी जो 3 मैचों की बात रही, आई गेस जो बात अभी हो रही थी कि पुणे ने एक बार नहीं, 2 बार नहीं, 3 बार हराया है और दे वुड बी बैंकिंग ऑन दिस वेरी फैक्ट कि हाँ हम एक बार और हरा सकते हैं. ठीक है. और जहाँ तक रही बॉम्बे की बात, थ्रू आउट द सीजन दे हैड बीन द टॉप टीम, तो उनके पास रहेगा कि हाँ वी आर द टॉप टीम, हमने बाकी टीम्स को हराया है तो हम इसको क्यों नहीं हरा सकते, और इट वुड बी अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी टू मेक इट अ मेमोरेबल 3-1 एंड
अगर आज बॉम्बे जीत भी जाती है तो वो जो पुराने 3 हारे हैं वो
आई गेस वो कोई याद भी नहीं रखेगा. So I guess that would be a good final. That should be a good final for us and for both of the teams.
दिमाग क्या कह रहा है और दिल क्या कह रहा है?
I guess दोनों बॉम्बे ही कह रहे हैं.
दिमाग और दिल दोनों.
बिल्कुल.
Sunny, what about you?
I think Pune will give a tough competition to Mumbai Indians, but keeping the records in mind, it would be Mumbai's game.
तो तुम्हारा भी दिमाग और दिल दोनों मुंबई के साथ है.
दिमाग मुंबई के साथ है, दिल तो है ही नहीं किसी के साथ भी. दिल सिर्फ धोनी के साथ.
मे भी अगर इस साल भी पीटरसन आरपीएस में खेल रहा होता तो आई थिंक तुम बोलते कि दिल मेरा आरपीएस के साथ ही है.
नहीं, फिर दोनों आरपीएस के साथ होते.
और केशव दिल तो हम दिल्ली वाले लगा ही नहीं सकते. दिल्ली की कंडीशन देखकर.
Actually, since the first season, I've been supporting Chennai, even though I've shifted Chennai 4 years back. But since season 1, I've been supporting Chennai because of that one man. And after Chennai got suspended for 2 years, it was always RPS for me. So now these two teams actually topped the league round, you know, and दोनों top 2 teams ही final में भी पहुंची हैं. So okay, Imam is back. So Imam, हम ये भी बात कर रहे हैं कि मुंबई और पुणे ने टॉप 2 फिनिश किया था लीग राउंड में. They were statistically they were the best 2 teams. But do you think कि MI or KKR or any other team actually were better than these 2 teams?
Yes. First of all, apologies for disappearing. Technology does that to you. But yes, I think SRH to an extent was good. They had very good bowling. Unfortunately, towards the later part of the tournament, Yuvraj had this freak injury to his little finger on his right hand, so that affected his performance. So apart from that, David Warner was always firing from the front, leading the way. Shikhar Dhawan was good, and the bowling which Hyderabad had was fantastic.
But
So
like you talked about the bowling and the top 2 batsmen, but do you think the weak link was that middle and lower middle order that actually lost them a couple of games?
Well, unfortunately, that has been the case with Hyderabad since the inception of the team, right from Deccan Chargers to Sunrisers Hyderabad. We have top 2, top 3 very good, but again the middle order is a bit of a void. But this year there was, it was not the case because Yuvraj was there. He was looking good, and along with Yuvraj, somebody like a Deepak Huda who did not get a long run. I'm surprised with that. They kept on picking Huda. And we spoke about how it is important to give Indian batters a lot of confidence who have done so well in this tournament. I think I was surprised that Huda ko utna mauka nahi mila because he was very good. And off and on, yes, every game you can't perform, but I think that's where Hyderabad missed a trick. They sometimes pick up
Vijay
Sharma.
was a more bankable player than Deepak Hooda.
Vijay Shankar has been consistent and he performed just one game for me. Gujarat game, let's not even talk about it because Warner was there at the other end. He was taking the run rate. And against in the eliminator, he got a 20 or a 25 run knock, which I feel was not of importance. So I don't rate Shankar. I rate Huda very highly because he's been scoring a lot of runs in domestic cricket and a very big hitter of the ball. So they kept dropping Huda, picking Bipul Sharma, and not ending up bowling a single over. So some things which Hyderabad did, which really played into the opposition's hand, and that's where they lost out on the top 2 places. For me, Hyderabad would have finished in the top 2 if not for that Bangalore end-off game.
And I'm hugely disappointed by Naman Oja. I mean, I don't actually remember when he played a substantial knock last time.
But when did he get a chance, to be fair to him, Keshav? The problem is...
This year he got, I think, if not less than 3 or 4, he got the chances and he didn't really make the most of it.
To be honest with you, I think he got chances in 3 games where he could have played a good knock. Apart from that, Hyderabad always had this in-between scores with just 4 wickets down. That was a bit of a rarity in T20 cricket. You can't be 150 for 3 in 20 overs. I prefer them being 140 all out, but you can't have 150 for 3. You can also always have a 170 all out. So Naman Oja also, was not used well. So somewhere I think next year when Hyderabad comes up for the for the auction, the only thing they should do, only thing they should look for is see if they have the available dates from me to sit on the auction table.
Okay, Ravi, talking about Hyderabad now, the biggest talking point of them was signing two Afghani players, and Rashid Khan, what a revelation! He just came in, he played all the games regularly, he got the wickets, his economy was really good, his attitude on ground was really good. So, what do you make of him? He this year he went for 4.5 crores, so next year I think it'll be double.
या एग्जैक्टली उसने परफॉर्म भी किया है और द वे द बोथ स्पिनर्स बोल्ड उन्होंने हैदराबाद को काफ़ी कंफर्टेबल सिचुएशंस में काफ़ी मैचेस में पहुंचाया भी है एंड यू आर राइट आई मीन फ्रॉम 4.5 करोड़ आई गेस मिनिमम 6 करोड़ तो लेके जाएंगे ही जाएंगे और आई होप कि 6 करोड़ अपना मोहम्मद नबी भी लेके जाए सो दैट थोड़ा अफगानिस्तान की इकोनॉमी भी इम्प्रूव हो
लेकिन आई थिंक क्या होगा पता है आपको रवि एंड केशव की अगर नेक्स्ट ईयर ओपन ऑक्शंस हुए as being discussed right now, the foreigners will be at loss. Forget about Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan will not even go for 50 lakhs because the teams would have already spent their money on big Indian players.
Indian players, right?
What happened? When 2008 IPL started, nobody understood the importance of Indian players. They went for foreigners. They felt that foreigners will give
But then,
them.
Imam, won't they have that expenditure purse also a bit too higher than some 60-65 crore what they actually usually get these days? So if it's a full mega fresh auction, wouldn't the expenditure purse be more?
Even if it is, let's say, 80 crores in this case, Keshav, a lot of franchises will go for good Indian players, good Indian talent, likes of Tripathi, likes of these younger players, KKR players who have Jaggi, these players who have done well. First target would be the Kohlis, the Dhonis, and Rainas and all. So once these people are churned and get themselves a team, then the next target will be good Indian players who have performed well in this IPL. The foreigners will be the third category, apart from those big players like AB de Villiers, or I will not even say Chris Gale, maybe a Mitchell Stark if he's available.
Now you can actually add Ben Stokes to that.
Ben Stokes to that. So these are 3, 4, 5 players who will really take a lot of money. But apart from them, the mid-level players like Rashid Khan and Nabi has been great for Hyderabad team. But the problem is even the franchises would love to spend that money on them, but they will not have any.
But do you think SRH actually missed a trick by not playing Nabi regularly?
Yes, but in the last league game, which he would have played the eliminator as well, but he fractured his hand while fielding. He fractured his hand in the final league game against Mumbai Indians. So that's where that injury kept him out of the eliminator.
Yeah, actually, I was also surprised because that track was a spinning track, and he would have been really, a wily.
Yeah, that was a forced change. That's why they brought in Jordan. Also, I think Rashid Khan has been good, but if you go back and see Nabi's performance, he did not get an opportunity with the bat. This guy is a huge hitter of the ball, and he's so consistent. He will give you 60-70 runs every game. That's the kind of a player he is. Go back to the PSL which he has played. He has been consistent over there as well. So, as much as I loved them picking Rashid Khan, I was very disappointed when they kept on overlooking Nabi. And towards the end of the tournament, they played a people.
And they kept overlooking him for Moises Henriquez, who was not as consistent as he was last year.
Exactly. So I think they went by. And what about Ben Cutting? Ben Cutting, again, the star of the final last year. They underutilized him. You gave him 2 matches and you dropped him after that. So I think somewhere Sunrisers Hyderabad were either in a bit of a hurry, or either were बहुत जल्दी थी उनको finals तक पहुंचने की. That is something which they paid for. But finals की बात आई and Keshav has been asking all the questions, and Ravi and Keshav. Now that Sunny is not there, I want to ask you a question about the finals thing. See, qualifiers बने हैं, playoffs बने हैं to give the best team a good chance, right? We all agreed on that.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, Pune did not have a bad game in the playoff. They had a good game. They qualified for the final. My question is, a team which has been playing so well, tonight if they go get all out for 100, just playing bad cricket, do they deserve to lose this big final against a team which they have already beaten in a playoff to reach the final. So my question is, shouldn't there be a scenario where we have semi-finals and a best of three IPL finals, give both the teams a great chance to win the trophy, both one away and away home game and a neutral game in the final?
Ravi, do you want to go first or should I answer?
हाँ तो मैं बोलता हूँ ना द थिंग अभी जो इमाम भाई ने बोला ठीक है, वो एक हद तक ठीक है, मतलब रीजन बीइंग कि जो हैदराबाद है उसको दो खराब गेम हुए, एक तो जो वॉश आउट गेम था बेंगलोर के अगेंस्ट वो, और एक जो रेन अफेक्टेड गेम था अगेंस्ट केकेआर, ठीक है, दैट बोथ गेम्स ठीक है, अगर वो रेन नहीं होता या फिर कुछ ऐसा ठीक खेलते तो हो सकता है सिनेरियो कुछ अलग होता। वो एक खराब गेम से सीधा सेकंड पोजीशन से फोर्थ पोजीशन पे आ गए, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस थर्ड पोजीशन आई गेस। बट दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ क्रिकेट आई गेस। ठीक है, यहाँ पे क्वालिफायर्स बनाए गए हैं, व्हाट इफ कि अगर क्वालिफायर्स नहीं होते, व्हाट इफ कि हर टीम को एक सिंगल ही चांस मिलता, तो ठीक है, तो हम कंप्लेंट नहीं कर सकते थे, ठीक है, बट रीजन भी कि जो टॉप टू टीम्स हैं, ठीक है, दे आर जस्टिफाइड टू गिव एन एक्स्ट्रा चांस रेदर देन कि ठीक है अब हम सबको तो इक्वल ट्रीट नहीं कर सकते। रीजन बीइंग कि अगर ऐसा ही करना होता तो ये क्वालिफायर वाला जो इसमें इन्फ्लुएंस किया गया है, ये ऑलरेडी पहले ही खत्म हो चुका होता। तो आई गेस इट्स क्वाइट फेयर।
To answer that, if you want to know my point of view, ma'am, like there can be two answers to that. One can be it's called Indian Premier League. So just like English Premier League, it could be just the league round. I mean, the team who finishes first should be declared as the winner. And if you're not going like that, if you're going with the traditional knockouts, so I think that way, if you look at it, if you remember the 2003 World Cup, India were cruising. They had such good games after that first defeat to Australia, but then on the final, it wasn't their day. It wasn't meant to be. So if a particular team is not doing well on that day, so I think sometimes you have to give the credit to the opposition. So even if Pune gets all out on 100 tomorrow, so you have to give it to Mumbai for even though they lost their first three games, but when it mattered the most, I think if they come the best and if Pune comes second best, then it's courtesy great game by Mumbai.
Okay, all right. So the only point being is that Indian Premier League जहाँ पे home away का इतना importance होता है, तो मेरा point ये है कि you have all the matches in the league way, as you said. I think I'm of the school of thought, Keshav. I agree with you that 14 games are more than enough to have the dominance, and that will become even more interesting because no match will be a dead rubber. Each and every match will be as if you need to win each and every game to win the tournament. अभी यहाँ पे ऐसे है 14 matches होते हैं, if you win 8 or 9 you are through to the semi-final, and after that teams take it easy, make changes and all that. So that is good, but again on the finals day I want a team to get the best chance. Home game
tomorrow it's fitting as well because today it's fitting as well that it's happening at a neutral venue. It's not happening in Mumbai or Pune. So I think that will also be a reason for us to have a good match.
Exactly. So today's game will be an exception, but what I'm saying is, suppose Mumbai would have won last year's tournament and today's final was being taken place in Mumbai, then it would have been unfair on Pune because if they would have lost, then that's the end of the tournament for them. So maybe in the future, and also the fact that they do not have a reserve day for a rain-affected game.
No, actually, they have a reserve day for finals. It's tomorrow. It's a reserve day.
That's fine, but eliminator and qualifiers are equal important games. Yeah, you can't undermine the importance of the final. Also, the umpiring. Let's not forget what the umpiring has been in the Indian Premier League. It's been such a disappointment.
Especially the Indian umpires.
Yeah, exactly. What happened to Rohit Sharma in the first qualifier? Huge inside. He smashed the ball.
And still as Ravi gets a place in ICC Champions Trophy.
And yeah. I think one of the points where we will all agree, चलो ठीक है, league round या knockouts का तो एक school of thought है, वो सबका लोग opinion है, but I think one thing where we all will agree is the fact that in T20 format, Duckworth should not be there. Imam, I think if I start with you, because recently Stephen Fleming has also said that it doesn't really make sense because you're cutting down the overs, but you're not cutting down the wickets.
Any logical person, forget about cricketers, जो logical people जिनमें common sense है, they will tell you Duckworth Lewis is first of all, it's a bullshit in itself. But using it for T20 game, are you serious? Matlab a team scores. Imagine, I'll tell you a worst example, Keshav and Ravi and Sunny. A team scores 210. Okay, that is like the best knock they have played. And if the match again is shortened to 5 overs game, the team batting second will need to score 48 runs. Now tell me, how does it make sense? Because a team scored 210 runs for losing 5 or 6 wickets or got all out. You are getting 10 wickets to score 48 in 5 overs. Does that make sense?
Is
No,
that
it
a real game or you're giving an example?
no, it's a reality. It's a real example.
Which game was this?
This game was supposed to happen in South Africa. They have the domestic tournament, isn't it? So they had a target. The Lions had to chase 48 in 5 overs, but thankfully the target never arrived. The rain continued, so they did not get the chance to score 48, which I felt was very good for the team who batted. Dolphins, who scored 210 runs.
सनी, do you agree कि actually T20 में डकवर्थ लूज होना ही नहीं चाहिए, और अगर हो भी तो आप अगर रन्स कट कर रहे हो, ओवर्स कट कर रहे हो, तो विकेट्स भी कट करो, क्योंकि जो लास्ट अभी एसआरएच और कोलकाता का मैच था, सो 20 ओवर की जगह 6 ओवर्स का मैच हो रहा था, दैट्स ऑलमोस्ट 1/3. सो अगर विकेट्स भी 1/3 कर देते तो दे वर ऑलरेडी 12 for 3 in 7 balls.
Yeah, I think it should be done if a team is chasing a low total in according to that method. They are cutting overs, they're cutting runs. Wickets should also be cut. I think some advantage should be given to the bowling side also. Yeah, you are giving advantage to the batting side, but remember it happened against South Africa also, where bowlers got the advantage, where 22 needed of 11, and after the rain they needed 22 of just one ball. I think it is a useless method to use in any format.
Yeah, but I think that example that you just gave was I think some 15-20 years back, and after that I think some rules have been changed in ODI cricket Duckworth system. Imam, we can't hear you.
वो टाइम पे डकवर्थ लुईस नहीं था. After that they introduced Duckworth Lewis, which was even more worse than what it was. So
Yeah,
22
I think
22 of 1.
I think एक और जो रीजन वो सोच सकते हैं कि जब सुपर ओवर होता है, then you are allowed only 2 wickets. If you're 2 down, that's over. So when it's a 5 or 6 overs game, at least उसी से एवरेज लगा लो रवि. I mean,
डेफिनेटली नहीं, काफी 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 सही पॉइंट है. आई मीन जो मैच हुआ, यू मेड अ पॉइंट कि 12 for 3 तो हो ही गए थे. हैड इट बीन अ 5 विकेट गेम तो वो अलग प्रेशर होता, 2 विकेट और लूज करने का. दैट माइट कॉस्ट केकेआर द गेम. सो इन दैट वे इट्स, और ये तो खैर आई वुड से कि सिर्फ T20 में नहीं, आई मीन इनको रिकंसिडर करना चाहिए इस पूरे जो भी रूल बुक है या जो भी है जिसने भी लिखा है कि कुछ तो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि अगर आप ओवर रिड्यूस कर रहे हो तो विकेट्स भी रिड्यूस किए जाएं, या फिर
इमाम अगर विकेट्स भी रिड्यूस करते तो आई डोंट थिंक कि केकेआर उस एग्रेशन से आके खेलती. वो थोड़ा सा और अपने विकेट्स को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए शायद ऑल आउट अटैक में ना जाते.
एग्जैक्टली, दैट्स द पॉइंट कि अगर आप ओवर्स ऑटोमेटिकली रिड्यूस कर रहे हो तो बैटिंग टीम को आप फ्रीडम दे रहे हो कि भाई जाओ मारो, यूसुफ पठान को भेजो, नारायण को भेजो, लिन को भेजो, बिकॉज एनी विच वे 10 विकेट्स हैं, हम तो जीतेंगे ही. The moment you reduce it to 5 wickets, the fear of losing comes there, and I'm sure they wouldn't have been 12 for 3, because they would have known कि अगर 5 wickets चले जाएं, they will be all out. So I think it's a very good thing to think of, because it will create more things in the game where teams have to think more. It should not be easy for any team. Cricket is not an easy game. It's a very tough game, not just for the players but also the fans like us, who take the pain of a loss and celebrate victory. So I think the game has become developed so much, and if you want to take it to Olympics, where the entire world will be watching, you need to have a bit of common sense. If these kind of things happen in Olympics, only 1 year is what we will exist, and next Olympics they'll say ये तो दिमाग खराब game है यार, निकालो इसको, because you don't have common sense rule for anything. For example, Duckworth Lewis की बात हो रही है. You have all the technology in the world which is being used in replays, even this year's IPL, but you don't have it when a batsman is given a howler. Why don't you have at least one referee, at least for big games like qualifiers, eliminator, and the final? You wouldn't have had to play in the final. You never know if Rohit Sharma would have not been given out like that.
But talking about that particular game, KKR versus SRH, if we keep that fact aside, the Duckworth-Lewis system, do you think KKR actually that they deserve to win that game because of the way they bowled?
They deserve to win that game in the way they bowled, but the way they batted against in a 48 run chase, I wouldn't have been surprised if Hyderabad would have defended 128.
No, but see the way they batted in a 5-6 overs contest. That was because it was cut down to 6 overs and they had 11 wickets in hands. But if they would have been chasing 130 in 20 overs, I'm sure they wouldn't have played like that.
Well, again, that's something which is, hindsight. We can all deliberate about it. But the simple fact is that Bhuvneshwar Kumar was a form bowler, so was Rashid Khan, and so were the other supporting bowlers. We played an extra bowler in Jordan. So you never know what would have happened because Kolkata has been the Pakistan of this year's IPL. Either they have been fantastic in terms of performance, Lynn or
We are again facing some audio issues with Imam. रवि, अगर मैं उसी गेम की बात करूं, वहां पे एसआरएच को डकवर्थ-लुईस सिस्टम पे ब्लेम करना चाहिए कि हम उस वजह से हारे, रेन की वजह से हारे, या फिर दे शुड एक्चुअली बी ब्लेमिंग देमसेल्व्स फॉर नॉट बैटिंग एज गुड, क्योंकि अगर उन्होंने वही 130 की जगह 160 150 स्कोर किया होता तो ऑब्वियसली केकेआर को भी 6 ओवर में शायद 60-70 चेस करने रहते।
नहीं, बिल्कुल सही बात है। फर्स्ट थिंग कि एक तो बिग मैचेस के लिए जो अभी इमाम भाई ने बोला कि अपने पास एक रिजर्व डे होना चाहिए, डेफिनेटली होना चाहिए। आई मीन रात के 2 बजे तक कौन सा गेम चलता है, आई मीन टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, एक रिजर्व डे रहना चाहिए। बट उस पर्टिकुलर डे एसआरएच की जो बैटिंग है दैट वाज नॉट अप टू द मार्क। उन्होंने बहुत कैजुअल क्रिकेट खेली एंड एक्चुअली क्या है, उस दिन जो पर्टिकुलर आई गेस मेरे हिसाब से जो हुआ था, जो खराब हुआ एसआरएच के लिए, वो ये हुआ कि थ्रू आउट द सीजन जो डेविड वार्नर है वो लास्ट तक अपनी इनिंग को लेके जाते हैं, ठीक है। उस पर्टिकुलर मैच में ही गॉट बॉल्ड आउट टू पीयूष चावला, तो आई गेस वहां से जो मोमेंटम बिगड़ा, जो लास्ट तक एसआरएच रिकवर नहीं कर पाई उससे।
तो
और 128 वाज,
आप ये बोलोगे कि केकेआर bowled too well, or would you say that
I would say कि केकेआर bowled well and अगर बारिश, yes, अगर बारिश नहीं होती तो अभी they would have been on the winning side on that particular day.
Sunny, do you agree with that? कि KKR deserved to win that game, although it was rain curtailed and SRH probably was a bit unlucky.
Yeah, I think KKR deserved to win that match, and I think what Ravi made a good point of keeping a reserve day, because it is useless. Yeah, you're playing a game at 2 o'clock. You are saying in the night, but it's the next day you are playing, and after that you have to again play a game next day also. You mean that is you have to play 2 games. That's just like you are playing Test cricket.
But that's okay. It's just a 20-over game. I mean, that's if you see PSL, these people have just 5 teams. So as a result, they have to play 2 games in a row in 2 nights. So I don't think playing 40 overs twice consecutively is a big deal for players these days.
But it affects mentally. Some of the players are affected by it mentally because they don't get proper sleep and they don't get proper time to recover.
Okay, so that's altogether a different discussion, and Imam is again nodding his head. I think he disagrees to Sunny.
you guys can hear me.
It's still not as clear.
Okay, is it clear now?
No, there are still issues, Imam.
Okay, I don't know what is happening with this.
Probably could rejoin. One last couple of minutes, we'll just talk more. So now we have talked about the eliminator, and coming back to qualifier 2 there. Ravi, do you think कि KKR ने जो अपना जो उनका जो ओपनिंग कॉम्बिनेशन था, सुनील नारायण और साथ में, okay, Ravi is also gone now. Imam, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear you. So coming back to qualifier 2, where KKR and Mumbai met. So do you think कि वहाँ पे the basic mistake that KKR made was again sending Narayan with Lynn? वहाँ पे शायद गंभीर को opening करने आना चाहिए था.
Well, लोग ने ये सोचा केशव, I think what they thought was that Bangalore wicket is not a great wicket to bat on, as we all know. It's not the same wicket It's like the history which tells us it's a good wicket to bat on. But what Sunil, the reason, the only logic I can find for them to kill Narayan was, even if he gets 20 or 25 in quick time, they can settle down and go for a target of 150, 160, and then don't have to think a lot. But what happened was, the moment they lost Chris Lynn, they would have had no issues if they would have got Narayan out. But the way they got Chris Lynn, again, credit to Mumbai's think tank for putting a fielder there in the first or second over, long on.
And also credit to them for actually getting Bumrah to bowl the new ball.
Exactly. I think that should have been the case all along. Again, I will not give them credit, because you and me also know that Bumrah should be opening for them, not a Malinga who's just past his prime now. So I think field placement was really good. So also the fact that Gautam Gambhir, वो बोलते हैं ना, कुलाड़ी पे पाँव नहीं, पैर पे कुलाड़ी नहीं, कुलाड़ी पे पैर मारना. What he did against Hyderabad, you watch his post-match presentation. He said that any team, with his blip of the eyes, he blips his eyes like this and says any team can score. They should think of scoring 140. They should not think of scoring 180. Why? What did you do? You did the same thing, and you ended up scoring 106 runs, lower than what Hyderabad got.
So I think
So I think
that KKR loss must have been a little bit of relief for you.
no. I don't find relief in their loss, but I was feeling, in fact, bad for Shah Rukh Khan, because even though I'm not a huge fan of his, I'm more of a Hrithik Roshan fan. But looking at the way he was, he had his pensive face. He was feeling sad. I was feeling bad for him, but at the end of the day, the better team won. So I'm happy that Mumbai is in the final. I'm happy that Pune is in the final, and I'll be even more happier if Steve Smith and Mahendra Singh Dhoni both lift tonight's cup, because Mumbai has done it in the past. So let's have a new champion tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Ravi, your final thoughts on tonight's game? I think we already know that you will be rooting Mumbai all the way. But do you think Pune somewhere has the edge over them?
Yes, I guess है थोड़ा सा edge है पुणे के पास. Reason being Smith, and courtesy to Smith and Dhoni. But I guess Mumbai will be a better side today. And I guess जो 3-0 से हम लोग हारे हैं, I guess we would be a third time IPL champion today.
Okay, and Sunny, your final thoughts on tonight's final? Who will be the champions tonight?
I think it would be a good game of cricket, and may the best team win.
Okay, that's short and as sweet as possible it can be.
Keshav, what about you, my friend? I know that you will say Pune, but would love to hear your thought of saying Pune tonight. Why do you think Pune?
Well, I think, Imam, if you look head to head, these two teams, Pune is not having the big names. Mumbai, if you look at the top, just go Rahul Tripathi, Parthiv Patel. We all know that who is the bigger player. Then you go to Ajinkya Rahane, who has been on and off. He hasn't really fired just a couple of 50s. On the other end, Lendl Simmons. He just a couple of games back he played a blinder of a knock, and he can be a match winner on the day and just smack the ball all around the park. And then comes Rohit Sharma and Steve Smith. I think there it's Pune who's a little bit ahead because Steve Smith arguably the best batsman in the world right now. And then you go to Manoj Tiwari, and then you have Karen Pollard, Ambati Raidu there, and you have got Dan Christian. But I think the one man again who might end up being the difference is MS Dhoni, because if you see the last game as well, his knock actually changed the momentum. Yes, Washington Sundar got the man of the match, but I would have loved if Dhoni would have got that, because those 41 runs in the last 2 overs, if the target was 130, 135 instead of 160, I think it was game, set, match Mumbai. But it was because of his knock. And today is the finals. And I was this morning I was looking at his records in the IPL knockouts. He averages 50 in IPL knockouts, and he has scored some close to his strike rate is close to 140 in the finals. So I think if that comes true, that comes to the fore tonight as well, then I think that guy will be the game changer tonight for Pune.
And also, I think the fact that will work for Pune is that no team in the history of 10 years of IPL has won IPL more than twice. Mumbai Indians have won it twice so far. Chennai has won it twice. Hyderabad has won it twice, but not twice because that was Deccan Chargers. This is Hyderabad Sunrisers. So no team has won it 3 times.
Yeah, and
So
if Mumbai wins, they will be the most successful IPL side. But as even neutral spectator and someone who's supporting RPS will hope, and I would really wholeheartedly want to see Dhoni having his hands on that trophy again and seeing that bright smile. So I think on that note, we could probably end up this great comeback of our hangouts, and I hope that this is start of something regular again. Next Sunday we could probably come back again to discuss Champions Trophy. By then I think we'll already be into the warm-ups. So also we'll probably get to discuss the IPL winners, which we'll know by tonight. So thank you, Imam, for stopping by, and I really wish you all the best for the next season because I know you are really not feeling great about SRH not making it to the finals. Thank you, Ravi. I hope Mumbai does well for you because yeah, and
Thank you, mate.
you were in Mumbai as well, so I think the craze would be really good tonight and there. And Sunny, you have something to say?
I don't have something to say now. I'm just hoping may the best team wins. And I would be happy. I would be happy to see Dhoni lifting the cup, but it would be Mumbai as far as I'm concerned.
I think more than anything, you are just concerned to listen to Kevin Peterson's commentary. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, yeah.
2-2. 2 Pune, 2 here. In this group, we have 2 Pune, 2 Mumbai tonight. Let's see what
Well,
happens.
Then I guess we need a tiebreaker.
we have Arvind here, and I hope that he's supporting RPS. Anyway, we'll end this discussion right here, and we hopefully I'll see you guys next week as well, next Sunday. So thank you so much for your participation here, and good luck for tonight, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Keshav. Thank you for being a discussion resource. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, Ravi.
Bye bye.
Arvind, can you end this?